first game has asked me to put things into order, right? One thing at a time. We've got some rules. S is before O. O is before R and V and Z. Z is before L. T is before L and M. I can put that all together like so, just gathering it up. Let's answer some questions. Number one, what cannot be one of the first four kinds of flowers? Why can't the lilies be among the first four? Well, the lilies have to have S, O, Z, and T in front of them. So the earliest the lilies could be was fifth. Can't be among the first four. Question 2. If the tulips are sixth, what has to be true? Well, if the tulips are sixth, what do we know? L and M are sometime behind them. Not super useful. All right, so let's jump back. What's first? Well, not the tulips and not anybody else because everybody else has something in front of it. So it's got to be S. What's second? Well, not V or R or TLM or Z. They've all got things in front of them. Only O. And then V, R, and Z in some order. And I don't really care about any of this because I was asked what has to be true. The orchids are second. Yeah, they have to be. Question 3, if the orchids are fourth. Oh, that was question 2. The orchids are fourth. All right, so I'm thinking about what's going in front of these orchids. Not V, not R, not Z, not L. S, T, and M. In some order, you know. So T is before M, but S could be anywhere in there. It could be STM, TMS. Is that it? There's one more. TSM. That's the one I left out. And then after it, I don't know, man. V, R, Z before L. So as long as Z is before L, V and R can be anywhere. You know, it could be V, Z, L, R, V, R, Z, L, Z, V, L, R, Z, V, R, L, Z, R, V, L, Z, L, V, R, Z, L, R, V. You know, on and on and on. I got a little carried away there, didn't I? If the orchids are fourth, anything could be true, except the tulips are second. Sure, we just talked about that. Sunflowers are third. We talked about that. Lilies are fifth. That can't be true because the lilies have to be after the zinnias. So, like, we could have zinnias and then lilies, but we can't put the lilies right after O. They have to be after Z. Lilies can't be fifth. That's why that's the answer. Question 4, how many of the flowers are there that could be the kind that is shipped second? Well, the kind that is shipped second is the kind that only has to have one thing in front of it. And that is S. Doesn't have to have anything in front of it. So it could be first or second or third. But it doesn't have to have anything in front of it. So it could be among the first. T could be first or second, third, fourth maybe. I don't know. I don't know how far we could push it back. I guess it, as long as it's got two things behind it. So we could push T all the way back to sixth place. I'm over-explaining. So sue me. So we've got S and T. O only has to have S in front of it. Excuse me. M only has to have T in front of it. So S, O, T, and M, all four of those only have to have at most one thing in front of them. So they could be second. Contrast that against like V, who has to have O and S. V can't be second. V would have to be third at the earliest. How many can be second? 4. Question 5. If the zinnias are seventh, what has to be false? So we put the zinnias seventh. That means the whatever L is last. Lilies. And now, like, everything's just kind of cut loose. I have to have T before M. I have to have S before O before Z, but, you know, that's done. And O is before V and R. So it might be T and then M and then O. It might be in this order, T, M, S, O, V, R. Or it might be S, T, M, O, V, R. Or it might be S, O, R, V, T, M. Or it might be T, S, O, R, V, M. Like on and on and on. Don't care. That's what has to be false. And there ain't no way that the tulips are last of this group. The tulips have to be before the mums. So there's no way that tulips are last in this group. Tulips can't be sixth. And that leaves only question 6, if the zinnias are third. All right, the zinnias are third. Okay, what's in front of them? S and O in that order. And then behind them, same kind of shit we've been doing. T is before M, and L. T is before M and L. And then V and R just in whatever order. So, now we talked about how T couldn't be the last among this group. T can't be last or second to last because it got M and L after it. How many of the 8 kinds of flowers are that could be the kind that is shipped fourth? How many could be right here? Well, it could be T, can't be M or L, could be V, could be R. So T, V, R, that's 3 if my calculations are correct. That finishes this first game.